They think their partner is preparing to propose, but inside the fancy box is just a sandwich. You know that feeling? The one where your heart is beating out of your chest, your palms are sweaty, and you're pretty sure this is it, the big moment you've been dreaming of. Yeah, I had that exact feeling last Tuesday. And let me tell you, it did not end the way I thought it would. My boyfriend, Alex, and I have been together for 5 years. We've done the long-distance thing, the moving in together thing, the adopting in a cat thing. We've been through it all. And lately, the topic of marriage has been, well, it's been in the air. My friends were asking. My mom was not so silly leaving bridal magazines on the coffee table. And even Alex had been dropping hints. Or so I thought. It all started last Monday. Alex was being weird. Like, extra weird. He was on his phone constantly, whispering and then hanging up whenever I walked into the room. He was smiling to himself, looking all secretive. My mind immediately went to one place. He's planning the proposal. This is it! The 5-year anniversary was coming up. It was perfect timing. The next day, Tuesday, he told me to dress up. Wear that nice dress, he said. The blue one I like. My heart did a little flutter. The blue dress? That's the dress I wore on our first official date. The signs were all there, aligning like stars in some grand romantic constellation. He told me he was taking me somewhere special for an early anniversary celebration. Special was the key word. My brain translated special to unforgettable, life-changing, put a ring on it special. He picked me up, and he looked so handsome. He was wearing a button-down shirt. He'd actually ironed it, which is a rare event in our household. He was a little fidgety, a little nervous, which only confirmed my suspicions. He was about to propose. I was practically vibrating with excitement. I spent the whole car ride practicing my surprised but elegantly crying face in the side mirror. You have to be prepared for these things, right? He drove us to this beautiful, scenic overlook. The one where you can see the entire city lit up at night. It was where we had one of our first really deep conversations. Oh, the sentimentality. He was pulling out all the stops. We got out of the car, and the view was breathtaking. The city lights twinkled below us like a blanket of fallen stars. There was a gentle breeze. The air was crisp, and it was just perfect. Too perfect. He took my hands, looked deep into my eyes, and started talking. You know, he began, his voice a little shaky. These past 5 years have been the best of my life. My heart started hammering against my ribs. This is the speech! The pre-proposal speech. I was mentally preparing my yes 1,000 times. Yes! Response. He went on, you've changed my world in every possible way, and I can't imagine my life without you. I could feel the happy tears starting to well up. I was trying so hard to keep it together, to not just burst out screaming with joy. I was looking at his pockets, trying to spot the telltale bulge of a ring box. I couldn't see one, which made me think he was a master of concealment. Clever. Then he said, and because you mean so much to me, and because I know how much you've been craving this. He paused for dramatic effect. My entire world slowed down. This was it. The culmination of 5 years of love and laughter. The beginning of our forever. He reached into his jacket pocket, and my breath caught in my throat. He pulled out a box. It wasn't a small, velvet ring box, though it was bigger. A sleek, fancy-looking black box. The kind you'd get from a high-end jeweler for a necklace or a bracelet. Okay? Maybe he was faking me out? Maybe the ring was inside this bigger, more elaborate box. An unconventional but still incredibly romantic choice. My mind was racing, trying to process this new development. He held the box out to me with both hands. a huge, proud smile on his face. "I wanted this to be a surprise," he said, his eyes sparkling with anticipation. "Go on! Open it!" My hands were trembling as I took the box. It felt light. Lighter than I expected. But maybe it was one of those fancy minimalist rings. I carefully lifted the lid. My eyes were wide, ready to see the sparkle of a diamond that would seal our future. Inside the box, nestled on a bed of what looked like gourmet tissue paper, was a sandwich. I blinked. I stared. It was a sandwich. A very well-made sandwich, I might add. It looked like one of those artisanal Italian subs. You know, with the prosciutto, the fresh mozzarella, the arugula, the balsamic glaze, all on a crusty ciabatta roll. It was, objectively, a magnificent sandwich. But it was, without a doubt, a sandwich. I just stared at it. My brain was trying to compute what was happening. Was this a joke? Was the ring hidden inside the sandwich? Was I supposed to dissect this culinary masterpiece to find my engagement ring? That seemed messy. And a little unhyped. I looked up at Alex. He was beaming, looking at me like he'd just handed me the keys to a castle. "Well?" he asked expectantly. "What do you think?" What did I think? I thought I was losing my mind. I opened my mouth to speak, but no words came out. Just a little squeak. "It's the one from that deli you love," he explained, still grinning. "The one you said you were craving last week, but they were closed when you went. I know how much you wanted it, so I called them this morning. I had them make it special, just for you. I even got them to put it in this fancy box to make it extra special." And that's when it all clicked. The secretive phone calls. He was coordinating with a deli. The dressing up. He just wanted our early anniversary dinner to feel nice. The scenic overlook! He thought it was a romantic place to eat a sandwich. There was no proposal. There was no ring. There was just a very, very thoughtful man who had gone to extraordinary lengths to get his girlfriend her favorite sandwich. I just looked from the sandwich to his hopeful face and back to the sandwich. And I started laughing. Not a cute, delicate laugh. A full-on, doubled over, tears dash, streaming dash, down dash, my face laughed. It was a mix of disappointment, absurdity, and honestly, overwhelming love. Because, in that moment, I realized something. Maybe it wasn't the proposal I had built up in my head, but it was so quintessentially Alex. He remembers the little things. He remembers me mentioning a sandwich I was craving a week ago and then moves heaven and earth, or at least crosses town traffic, to get it for me and present it in the most ridiculously sweet way possible. He looked a little confused at first, his smile faltering. What's so funny? Is there something wrong with the sandwich? I finally caught my breath and wiped the tears from my eyes. "No, honey," I said, shaking my head. "The sandwich is perfect. It's everything." I think he was still a bit bewildered, but he smiled back. So there we were, on a cliff, overlooking the city. Me in my fancy blue dress, him in his iron shirt, sharing an Italian sub out of a jewelry style box. And you know what? It was one of the most romantic moments of my life. It wasn't the moment I expected, but it was real, and it was us. I eventually told him what I thought was happening, and he turned bright red. He said he had no idea it came across that way and felt terrible, but then we both started laughing about it all over again. The pressure was off, the misunderstanding was hilarious, and the sandwich was absolutely delicious. It's a funny story we tell all our friends now. And while I didn't get a ring that night, I got a great story and an even better reminder of why I love him so much. It's not about the grand gestures you see in movies. It asks about the person who knows your favorite sandwich and puts it in a fancy box to make you smile. And for the record, when he did eventually propose about 6 months later, he made sure the box was very, very small. And definitely not sandwich shaped. So what's the craziest misunderstanding you've ever had in a relationship? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your stories. This stuff is just too funny not to share. If you liked this story, please give this video a like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.